I just bought this controller. It's called the PS5 Scuf Reflex, and it's insanely hyped up by Fortnite players. They say it has no delay, they say it feels great. Some go as far as to say it's the best controller they've ever used. So I spent $339 and bought one myself to see if this thing can live up to the hype. Just please subscribe, because this was so expensive. What that price tag gets you is some sleek looking packaging with a carrying case and cable. Then inside we have my fully customized Scuf Reflex. I got this design called iridescent and blacked out all the buttons and sticks. The look is cool and all, but the actual point of buying such an expensive controller is for the performance advantage. That first starts with the sticks, which I chose a normal sized domed left stick and then a tall concave right stick. To my surprise, it also actually came with 4 extra sticks of different types that can be interchanged. Up on the triggers, we have digital tap, which makes it so you can get your shots off and builds down as fast as possible. Plus, they just feel nice to press. On the back, there's 4 paddles laid horizontally that can be reprogrammed to any button on the controller. There's a slight texture on both the tips of the paddles and the triggers, which is a cool detail. And the last performance advantage is the black rubber grip down the back of the legs. The first in-hand look of this controller is pretty great. I love the look of it, and although I typically prefer paddles that can have 1 finger per button, this doesn't feel terrible. But let's see how it actually performs. What led me to buy this controller is the amount of pro Fortnite players that say they absolutely love it. And there's actually a ton of pros that use it. Like this page shows the top 100 pros in the NA server right now. Of these 100, 19 of them are on controller. And here's the controller breakdown for those 19. 2 use the standard Xbox One controller, 2 use the standard PS4 controller, 2 use a Scuf Impact controller, 1 uses an Xbox Elite, 1 uses the new PS5 DualSense Edge, 5 use the standard PS5 controller, and 7 use this PS5 Scuf Reflex. 2 more of these players are looking at getting the Scuf Reflex soon. So that's 7, potentially 9 of the top 19 pro controller players that are using this specific controller. That's almost 50%. This controller absolutely dominates the pro scene. But is it worth it? Well, I don't really know yet, but stick around to the end of the video for my full analysis. People love running after I snipe them. Dang, look at those shots. Honestly, my main concern with this controller was the paddle, and so far, I'm not really mad at them. That was so awkward. I kept trying to place a pyramid and it wouldn't work. Bro. Nice, let's go, dude. The thing about paddles is the only 2 paddles that actually matter to click fast are your jump and your edit. The 2 paddles that I have are for sprinting and pulling out my pickaxe, which still need to have some speed to them, but not quite as fast. So the paddle thing really isn't a big deal. Plus, these paddles are actually pretty comfortable. The tips of my middle fingers are basically resting over the 2 edge paddles, and then the sides of my middle fingers are clicking the inner paddles. Bro, what? Wow, I can't believe I got out of that. The aim is good, the builds are lacking a little bit. But I mean, realistically, you can't expect too much on a brand new controller, no matter how good the controller is. Okay, let's just not get heavy sniped and we'll be good. Nice! Wow, that aim is actually crazy. One thing that's sort of interesting is the weight of this controller. It's just slightly lighter than the standard PS5 controller, probably because the rumbles got taken out of this one. Compared to the DualSense Edge, this is way lighter. I think the only PS5 controller that I have that's lighter than this is my Cinch gaming one. And I personally prefer a lighter controller. Wow, I had the best angle on that guy. I don't know if it's ever been proven, but I feel like I get a performance advantage with a lighter controller. Heavier controller just make my gameplay feel like slow and sluggish. But whether it's a placebo or not, I don't really care. I always prefer a lighter controller. So the weight of this controller definitely checks out. What's up with all the AIs? Not missing too many shots though. I feel like that's the most surprising part so far. Like, it's a brand new controller, it's new sticks. Even though I'm used to like the layout and I'm on my same settings, I feel like my aim has been really good. Wow. Like a little right hand peek 200, that's a pretty good shot. Wow, I don't know how that dude didn't die sooner. I don't know how realistic it'd be, but one thing that I wish that they do differently about these grips, instead of just putting them on the back and halfway around the side, like my palms do get sweaty when I play, and my palms are resting on this part. So even though it kind of ruined the look of the controller, I sort of wish that they put grips on the front as well. To me, digital tab triggers all feel pretty similar, honestly. So I don't feel like there's anything crazy special about these, but I do like them. They feel good. Oh, I am so mad. I thought I blocked everything off. So here's my final analysis. I feel like I knew the controller was going to be good because so many pro players use them, and pros are very specific about their controllers. I mean, the triggers are great, the grip's great, the paddles all feel great, everything feels great. But I feel like the only thing that it comes down to is if it's worth the price. If you get it all decked out like I have, it's well over $300. And I'm not gonna lie, that answer is different for every single person. If you game a lot, especially competitively, or you like to take it serious, and you can afford it, then yeah, go for it. If you just game casually and play like pub matches all day, you probably don't want to drop that much money on a controller, but it's also your money, so do whatever you want with it. I'm a fan of this thing. I think I'm gonna try to play on it for the next couple of weeks, see how it goes. So make sure to stay tuned in by subscribing to the channel, and thank you so much for watching.